Thank you, Michael. Yeah, setting off that way. Ollie. Special assembly this morning, and that we've got a special guest, and this is Nadia. And you will have noticed the outside in the reception playground, the two boards there that have recently been decorated with a few bits and pieces. Talking about publicising a little bit, okay, the charity that you, as the junior school, will be helping out this year, so September through to next July. So all of those efforts, all of those cake sales, when you're running in cross country in the spring, okay, plus other activities that you'll be doing throughout the year, will all be going towards the charity that you are supporting this year. Okay? And I'm going to step to one side and allow Nadia to tell you exactly what it's all about. Is that okay?
Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Nadia Martini. Thank you very much for inviting me here today to speak to you. So why am I here? Well, I would like to talk about my niece Margot and also a charity that we set up in her name called the Team Margot Foundation. Now some of you may know about Margot already because her brothers, my nephews, come to the school. Oscar's in year 4 and Rufus, who's over there, is in year 2. So Margot was an extraordinary little girl. She loved wearing bows in her hair. She also had a very cheeky smile. Margot also liked to wear ballerina tutus, and she would do something called tutu racing, which was really just a running race in a tutu. Margot also loved the movie Despicable Me, which I'm sure a lot of you like too, and she loved singing the happy song with her brothers. But sadly, Margot was also very sick. She had an illness called leukemia. Now, leukemia is a blood cancer, and this means that her bone marrow, which is your body's blood factory, was faulty. So her blood didn't work properly, and her body also didn't work. Because of this, Margot had to spend a lot of time in hospital, and she had to take very, very strong medicine. Now, none of us like taking medicine, but Margot was very brave, and she knew that she had to do so and spend time in hospital. Margot had a great sense of humour. She would ask her dad to blow up the hospital gloves into hand balloons. She also liked to play peekaboo to make you laugh. And she liked riding her tricycle around the hospital ward, and all the doctors and nurses would have to jump out of the way. Now, when Margot was ill, the doctors told her parents that the best chance of her getting better was to have something called a stem cell transplant. Now, stem cells are extraordinary cells. They're really, really special. They're made by the bone marrow, which is the spongy bit inside your bones. Now, stem cells can turn into any of the essential blood cells that your body needs to make it work. So, for example, stem cells can turn into red blood cells. Now, they give your body oxygen. Stem cells can also turn into white blood cells, and they help fight infection. So if you have a cold, it's the white blood cells that are in your body and they're fighting away to make you better. Stem cells can also turn into platelets, and they help your blood clot. So if, for example, you cut your hand and you started to bleed, it's the platelets that stop you bleeding. Now, Margot needed to replace her faulty stem cells with someone else's healthy ones. It's a bit like if you have a toy that works with a battery and that battery stops working, you take it out and you put a new one in. It's kind of similar. Now, Margot's parents learned that it wasn't only Margot who needed to find some to replace her faulty stem cells. There were lots of other people too, all over the world. To find someone with matching stem cells, you need to look on something called a stem cell register. Now, this is really just a long list of people who've said they're happy to donate their healthy stem cells to someone who needs them. Now, unfortunately, there are not enough people on this list. So sometimes when people need to find a healthy matching donor, they can't find one. And it's not because there isn't someone out there, it's just because they haven't put their name on the list. It's a bit like when you come into school and your teachers take the school register. They know you're here, So you can take part in the classes and the activities. But if you're not at school, you're not on the list, so you can't take part. So that's why all Margot's friends and family got together and set up a group called Team Margot. We're a group of people who want to tell everyone just how easy yet how important it is to register as a potential stem cell donor. Team Margot wishes to help save the lives of those people like Margot who never knew that they needed a stem cell transplant. Team Margot want to make sure that Margot's experience can help others. Now, unfortunately, Margot died last October, but that is why it was so important for me to come here and talk to you today, so that we can all help others like Margot. Now, Team Margot continues to honour Margot's legacy as a charity called the Team Margot Foundation. We are committed to raising awareness of the need for more potential stem cell donors to join that register, that list. We inform and we encourage. We're a signpost that directs people on how they can register wherever they live in the world. Now, you're all a little too young to register. You need to be between the ages of 16 and 55 years old. But what you can do is you can go back and tell any family and friends who are old enough how important it is to register, and that by doing so, they might save someone's life. And then hopefully when you're older, you might want to register too. Thank you very much for listening to me. I have brought with me today a Team Margot band and some postcards that I've given to your teachers and they'll give to you later. I really hope you'd like to wear them. I like wearing mine because when people ask me what it is, I then tell them about Team Margot and then tell them about the register. But before I go, I would like to read you a little story. I think this tells and explains very clearly how if just one person registers, then maybe one person's life would be saved. An old man was walking on the beach one morning after a storm. In the distance, he could see someone moving like a dancer. As he came closer, he could see it was a young woman picking up starfish and gently throwing them into the ocean. Young lady, why are you throwing starfish into the ocean? The sun is up and the tide is going out, and if I don't throw them in, they will die, she said. But, young lady, do you not realise that there are many miles away and thousands of starfish who cannot possibly make a difference? The young woman listened politely, then she bent down, picked up another starfish, and threw it into the sea. It made a difference for that one. Thank you very much for listening. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.